Kansas City Chiefs. Going back to their AFL days in the 1960s, the Chiefs and Raiders are underway. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Throwing is Rodgers.
Oh, looking for water, but this is intercepted.
And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
Part of why they came to this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity. Just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now, on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A
run here for the rookie. It's Brian Robinson.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Alex Highsmith simply would not be stopped on that play.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. On play action, they'll throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up to throw.
Pass complete. George Pickens with it. And he is going to have the Raiders 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got us a turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
They go play action here on 1st down. And it's caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders.
Isaiah Likely.
His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And the interception on that opening drive winds up leading to the touchdown, so now it's kind of time to start over.
Yeah, it certainly is, and his first throw of the game. But I like the way his guys rallied around him. Oftentimes, the quarterback is the leader, right? He tells everyone what to do. In this case, I noticed his linemen around him kind of patting him, saying, let's go, big boy. You're still our leader.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Chubb on the counter. And down right around the 32-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. Well, this defense for the Raiders, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there. And they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. It's a gain of 35.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
I know we spent a lot of time talking about how the defensive backs read routes and make plays on the football. How about a good linebacker? Feeling the route, seeing the quarterback, jumps the play, and knocks it away. Really well done.
Second down and a run by Robinson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. They'll roll him out right. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Ah, Brandon, that's a gamer move right there. Facing 3rd down, steps up, calls his own number, and nearly makes the house call. If I'm the coach, I let him take another one right here. Give him a chance to be the first one to hit the end zone after that effort he just gave him.
Robinson is not going to get back to the line of scrimmage as they'll tackle him at the 3.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Robinson again. And not a whole lot there as they'll get him down at about the 2.
The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time, he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Fourth down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through.
So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone.
And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it, but whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a pass dumped off to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well. And they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time.
It's C.J. Henderson picking it off. And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
They had him back deep, got the interception, and now they start inside the 10.
Partner forgets starting inside the red zone. They're inside the green zone. From the 10-yard line in, a lot of teams call it that because that's the money zone. Get it into the end zone and make your cash.
They'll run with Robinson.
And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice pickup of 6 there to get him closer to the end zone, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Again, it'll be Robinson.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
$10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Robinson.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders.
Brian Robinson Jr., his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year.
And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They're still in search of an initial 1st down as they come up here 1st and 10. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. How about Jonathan Allen there pushing upfield to make the stop behind the line?
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Wow, this one, it is getting out of hand early. They add a pick-6 to the ledger now. 3-score lead still in the first half.
And all that celebrating that you see and hear from those defenders, it's not just because they scored a touchdown on a pick-6. It's because they're pitching a shutout in this one. Every defender's dream.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And now here's another interception.
And the Raiders are going to take possession of the football.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
And they'll run again.
And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown.
Brian Robinson Jr.
with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Raiders continue to pull away here in this first half.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone.
The Chiefs take over the first end zone at their own 18-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
They run it again with Chubb. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
On play action, Rodgers. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Raiders pick it up.
And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down the defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there, someone always trying to get to the football. Try to find a place to cover up and slide and protect what you've earned.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to it, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And that will extend their lead even further.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
They begin this drive with Chubb. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Second down, here's Chubb again.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away.
31 yards on the punt there.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10.
At their own 48-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Now, they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week. So this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner. If they win here and make it 3 in a row, they get to heal up after that. You've got to think that's an ideal setup and a worthy goal to play for in this one.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They're going to look to throw. And the Chiefs are going to get him.
A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
Oh, that's ridiculous. 3rd and 10.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Chiefs are going to take over here up near the 40. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this second quarter.
Because what it does is give their offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
Rodgers' throw complete here to Waller.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Up the middle, it's Chubb.
And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line.
An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28.
The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And, partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind.
And my goodness, another interception.
Trent McDuffie with a pick. And the Raiders are going to get the football here at their own 23.
Well, all I can do up here is just shake my head. I mean, 6 interceptions. I cannot imagine what he's thinking between the ears right now.
Well, just think of how it is for his teammates, because after the first few, you know they're going over to him, hey, we'll get them next time. Now they're probably a little bit frustrated. And if you're a receiver, you're thinking to yourself, any ball that's in the air, you become receiver and defensive back. You've got to go compete for the ball so that you don't get another one picked off.
Making that play behind the line was Justin Simmons.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
And the Chiefs D closes in on him again, and they drop him behind the line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. Taken from about the 12. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Second half begins with a run by Robinson. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. They'll run again here with Robinson.
And he'll push forward for a couple to the 34.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On 3rd down, Robinson.
And they'll bring him down 1 yard shy after a pickup of 4.
When a good play is made on defense, oftentimes leverage is the key to everything. Defensive line not getting turned, all the other guys making sure they're in the right spot, and on that play, they were able to stop them short of a 1st down.
The Chiefs take over 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. Here's Nick Chubb as they try to fire up this run game. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. Myles Garrett showing that athleticism as he gets in to make the play. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Chief linemen might have moved. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They go up the middle with Chubb. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have to contend with a 3rd and 13.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Looking long for Thomas. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Well, partner, they certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Hines now on the return.
They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Bobby Wagner, the All-Pro, in on the tackle.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
And some space here.
And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15. 111 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him maybe a yard, quite the opposite from the previous big gainer.
Now 2nd and 9 from the 10. On the counter, this is Robinson.
And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. This is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. The drive stays alive, a 3rd down gain of 8.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence. And that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal.
Now here's a defensive timeout called. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. They'll set up a throw. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown.
Isaiah Likely.
A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Raiders continue to pour it on. They go up by 40 now. And, Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yeah, it's multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone. A perfect plan on how to utilize him best when they get in close.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Throwing now is Rodgers. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a 1st down.
And he takes it down deep into enemy territory.
The 71 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They'll run with Chubb. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Back at the 5-yard line now, second and goal. They'll try the draw now with Chubb. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
Not only was that a terrific play, but that loss of yardage they created this close to their own goal line, that gives them a little breathing room now as they move them back.
And they're breathing fire a little bit right now, aren't they?
A lot of confidence being shown by them at this point.
He's got it. Touchdown, Chiefs. Darren Waller from 6 yards away.
And the Chiefs are able to at least get one score back.
No surprise there. Third and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
I guess the last score wasn't enough for them. They want more. Here comes an onside kick. And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Touchdown!
Isaiah Likely
from 19 yards away.
And the Raiders are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve?
From the 25 on second down, Rodgers finding his big receiver Patrick over the middle. 20! And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Tim Patrick, 75 yards.
And the Chiefs get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. So still throwing here in the fourth quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to, because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
And the hands team for the Raiders able to secure it. The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points. But they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
They'll get only 3 there, so it leaves them with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Nothing flashy there. The slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and then he's able to absorb the contact to complete it.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete. But their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy, because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out, because this one, it was over a long time ago.
The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. There's too much to handle on the other side in this one. A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches.
On play action, it's Rodgers. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Chubb on the counter. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13.
There for the tackle was Trent McDuffie. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
On 2nd and 7, Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
Someone moved, flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters, as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. And now movement again, and they'll march even further backward.
Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And now here is another interception.
Picked off by Grant Delpit. And the Raiders are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
On target to his man, Likely.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Robinson up the middle.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. The play action fake. They'll look to throw.
Right side, there's Likely with it.
And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 32-yard line. With that catch, he goes over 100 yards receiving on the night.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end.
And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. Well, fans expect these primetime slots to deliver some of the best games each week. And, well, one team has certainly followed through with that tonight. Just an absolute clinic, Charles, on offense here. And they don't seem to be done trying to drive that football.
Yeah, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Second down and a run by Robinson.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Again, it's Robinson. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. On 4th down, here's Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal. This one from 46 yards out. And this one's not close. Not even close. Short and to the right, it's no good. So that's just a minor blip here in what's been a thoroughly dominating performance. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. On play action, now Rodgers. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. They always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
And again, it's Rodgers. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Here's Rodgers to throw. And my goodness, another interception. Trent McDuffie with a pick. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe to get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.